Estamos acá en Ucrania, somos comando de fuerzas especiales entrenado en tierra, aire y mar. Pertenecemos al batallón número 49 Karpaz-Kashi de Ucrania. Aquí estamos con 100% con valor y gloria, con mística, con energía al 100. Por eso queremos darle un saludo de felicidad y de alegría a todo el pueblo ucraniano, que acá estamos los colombianos luchando por ustedes. Somos máquinas de guerra, milicia viva, al 100%, con valor y gloria. ¡Viva Ucrania! ¡Viva, viva Ucrania!
In a dramatic and unexpected turn of the war in Eastern Europe, Colombian and Ukrainian soldiers joined forces on the front line to carry out a daring assault against heavily fortified Russian trenches. The combined unit, composed of hardened Ukrainian troops and determined Colombian fighters, moved swiftly under relentless artillery fire, showing remarkable coordination and discipline in the midst of chaos. The operation, planned in secrecy for days, marked one of the most audacious ground offensives in recent weeks, sending shockwaves across both Ukrainian and Russian lines. The assault began at first light, with the horizon barely glowing under the rising sun as Ukrainian artillery thundered in preparation. Ukrainian infantry advanced through the ruined wasteland of no man's land, their boots sinking into thick mud churned by endless shelling, while Colombian fighters provided suppressive fire with precision rifles and heavy machine guns. Mortars erupted in fiery bursts, creating walls of smoke and debris that blinded Russian defenders, allowing the assault teams to push closer under cover. The ground shook violently with every explosion, echoing like a drumbeat of war. Witnesses reported that the Colombian soldiers fought with an intensity rarely seen on the battlefield, adapting quickly to the brutal rhythm of trench warfare. Many of them, having honed their skills in jungle and urban combat back home, demonstrated extraordinary instincts in maneuvering under fire, weaving through craters and shattered fortifications with lethal efficiency. Their ability to adjust to the unique challenges of the European battlefield impressed Ukrainian commanders and gave the assaulting force an undeniable advantage in the fight.
Наше командування сказало, щоб ви робили фаєртіми і робили накати.
Накати?
Так, фаєртімом.
Вони будуть іти Альфа-Браво, ми заїдемо. Якщо там 300, помощь, откат.
Ukrainian officers who coordinated the operation praised the Colombians for their courage and sharp discipline. They moved like shadows through the smoke, relentless and unflinching, one commander said, describing how the fighters advanced despite the deafening roar of artillery and the deadly waves of Russian gunfire. The seamless cooperation between the two forces symbolized not only tactical brilliance, but also a powerful sense of brotherhood forged in the crucible of battle. As the Ukrainian assault troops reached the jagged edges of the Russian trench network, the clash transformed into a savage close-quarter fight. Grenades flew through the air, detonating with bone-shaking blasts, while automatic rifles chattered at point-blank range. The narrow, mud-filled passageways became scenes of chaos, where soldiers fought just meters apart. In moments where ammunition ran low, bayonets, rifle butts, and knives became the desperate tools of survival, turning the trenches into a nightmarish arena of raw brutality. Colombian fighters stormed forward with their Ukrainian brothers, trench by trench, clearing enemy positions with ruthless determination. Their battle cries echoed through the smoke-filled labyrinth as they unleashed a relentless offensive that caught Russian defenders off guard. Reports from the field suggest that several Russian strongholds crumbled within minutes, overwhelmed by the ferocity of the assault. The sudden collapse of these positions forced Russian soldiers into disarray, with many retreating deeper into their defensive lines to avoid being overrun. The battlefield erupted with thunderous artillery barrages, while heavy machine gun fire swept across the shattered terrain. Despite the intensity of these assaults, the joint Colombian-Ukrainian units held their ground with unshakable determination, meeting each wave with coordinated firepower and deadly precision. Every failed Russian counterstrike left the enemy more demoralized and the defenders more resolute.
Да! Давай вправо, уходьте, блядь! Двойка пішла! Белка пішов! З баром туди! Вон до горба! До горбочка! Давай, крий!
Soldiers described the confrontation as one of the most harrowing battles they had ever faced. It was like descending into hell itself, one Ukrainian fighter recalled. The trenches were choking with smoke, filled with screams, fire, and explosions. You couldn't see more than a few feet ahead, but you could feel the enemy breathing down your neck. Still, side by side, we pushed forward and refused to give them even an inch. His words captured the sheer ferocity of the struggle, a battle of wills fought at arm's length.
Рух вперед!
Colombian soldiers echoed those sentiments, emphasizing that while the battlefield was alien to them, their training and combat experience carried them through. The mud, the blood, the chaos, it didn't matter, one Colombian fighter said, his face streaked with dirt and sweat. What mattered was breaking the Russian defenses, fighting shoulder to shoulder with our Ukrainian brothers, and proving that no obstacle could stand in our way. Their grit under pressure earned them admiration from their Ukrainian comrades, solidifying bonds forged in fire. Military analysts argue that this daring operation delivered not only a tactical victory but also a symbolic one. By seizing heavily fortified Russian trenches through joint effort, the assault demonstrated the growing international cooperation supporting Ukraine. The Colombian presence on the front lines highlighted how far the conflict had drawn the attention of the world, reshaping the perception of the war and showcasing the global dimension of resistance against Russian aggression.
Я маю, блядь, тривати перший бій, йобаний в рот, нахуй. Вони можуть туди нормально насипати, щоб ви, блядь, заскочили, блядь.
Робота виконана повністю. Ми стоїмо на носі. Зараз практично